Hi, how are you doing? Mojo here, aka Susan Morrow Johnson, aka Susie Kendall. Yeah, you might be one of my friends from my days before I was ever married, when I was just a kid. I have a lot of old school chums that I'm friends with on Facebook, and that's one of the things I love about Facebook. As much as I kind of have a love-hate thing with Facebook. Like right now, they won't allow me to put my website anywhere anywhere. And if I do put it's like in my description or something, and you link to it, it says Facebook says this is garbage and you can't go there. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I have not been able to fix this all year. So I had figured out a way around it kind of with a landing page, but now they won't even let me do that. So I have paid someone to fix the damn thing for me. And hopefully within a few days, my website will be unblocked and unblacklisted. So anyway, here I am, and it's the holidays. I've got on my Joy T-shirt today, sweatshirt. You happy holidays! I like the Cardinals, and I usually do a little more with my jewelry with this, but frankly, today I just wasn't up to it, and that's what I was going to come and talk to you about. Is just kind of not feeling up to it. You know, um, I know that the holidays are hard for a lot of people for a variety of reasons. For me, the holidays are usually wonderful, and I like for them to be wonderful, and I work to make them wonderful for myself and most of the other people as well. But this year is a little different. We've got a family member who's very ill, and I'm helping him a lot and also working. And, I just haven't had the time to really get into the Christmas spirit. I mean, I do have on my little Christmas sweatshirt today, and it's just that usually by December 11th, I am, I've got the house completely decorated, and I'm like wearing Christmas jewelry every day, and a lot of, red and green and stuff like that. And this year I just haven't felt like it, which, is okay. I'm letting myself off the hook. And so I've got the yard decorations out, and I've got the tree up and a couple of ornaments on it, and maybe a couple dozen ornaments. But I haven't done like I usually do. And so I haven't even listened to a lot of Christmas music or watched Christmas shows, which I usually love to do the whole month, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I'm just like eating it all up. And even after Christmas, I like to celebrate all the way through Epiphany. And, I haven't shopped very much. And we decided we're just going to get one or two little things for everybody. And it's just going to be a low key Christmas. And I am letting myself be okay with that. And so this is very, very different for me. It's just a different world. And a few years ago, I would probably have been beside myself. I would have let myself get into a frenzy over. Sorry, I got to polish my nails while I'm talking to you because I don't have time. But I would have been in a frenzy trying to make Christmas be my Christmas, trying to tame Christmas and bend it to my will. And I would have been very, very upset about my sick family member and, struggling to keep it together. And I'm just really glad that I'm now in a much more relaxed place. And, the thing is, I am being the brave little toaster now, but I do reserve the right to fall apart anytime I need to. And I think the reason that I'm telling you this is I think that that's kind of what we all need. Now, there are some people, I know at least a couple, who find the holidays actually very traumatic, having had a very, very difficult childhood, or and coming from an abusive family or something. So there are people who really just kind of have to check out and hang on tight, and make it through the holidays. So I'm not really addressing those people because that's not something I'm qualified to do. All I can do is share with you my experience and the experiences that I've learned about, and worked with my clients on from my clients as a coach. And, coaching's different from therapy, and I'm not a therapist, in that therapy starts with kind of like what's broken, what's wrong with you, what needs fixing. Whereas coaching supposedly moves forward, says you are whole and complete as you are. How can we make things better for you from now on? But what I find in coaching is that we can't move forward without looking back. We can't. There are too many old beliefs that are well-worn grooves in our brains that we cannot overcome without some effort. And that's the kind of thing that keeps us from recovering from difficult holidays, recovering from traumas that emotional issues that we've had. Like I just put up a holiday meme, and it's got the family gathered around the Christmas table, and they're wearing their Santa hats, and it says, "And for dessert," said Mother cheerfully, "vitriol and shame for everyone who wants coffee." And so it's, we joke about the dysfunctional Christmas, right? And it can be so hard, and so for so many of us, it just has to be endured. I have been very fortunate for the most part. The last several years, we've had some really good Christmases that I loved and enjoyed. Hey, Susan, how are you? Yeah, it has been a long time. So you're Sumo, and I'm Sumo. Susan Morgan Morrow. Yeah, we're both Sumo. Good to see you. So what I want to impart, I guess, is to take a page out of my book while I'm still the brave little toaster and haven't had a meltdown yet. Which, knock wood, I hope I won't, but I reserve the right to. Go easy on yourself, especially if you still have young children at home and you want to make Christmas real magical for them, and you're trying to work and take them to zoo lights and go caroling and go to everything at church and all the stuff that I used to do when my kids were little. Take it easy. I mean, it can still be really magical for your kids if you are not harried and harassed and worn out. I wish somebody had told me that when my children were little, because I loved making Christmas magical for them, but it was, I paid for it every year. I wore my ass out making Christmas magical, which I did love it, and I thought it was worth it. But, if somebody had told me this when I had young children, I would have cut back a little bit. I would have given myself more of a break and not been the perfect mommy and the perfect neighbor and the perfect coworker. I wouldn't have bent over so backward. And even this Christmas, like I said, I'm not even doing as much as I usually do by a long shot. I'm just not, because I don't have the freedom really to plan around what's going on in the family. And so I just go, well, here's a contingency plan and here's a contingency plan, and we'll see which one works, and if none of it works, that's okay. I mean, at Thanksgiving, I went to go visit my daughter because she just had a baby the day before Thanksgiving. They welcomed their second boy. And so I went to go be with her while she's having a baby, right? And the way it wound up happening, I didn't really have Thanksgiving dinner. There was no sitting down and, having a blessing and everybody going around saying what they're grateful for or what they're hateful for or whatever the tradition might be. And, I just let it be okay. And that's kind of big for me. And it might be big for you too. If you've never been able to just let yourself off the hook and let everybody else off the hook and let the holidays off the hook and just not expecting so much. And it's not like, oh, well, it just can't be, so I'll just throw in the towel and be miserable, because I have done that before. I have done that. There have been Christmases when I have felt that way, when I've thought, this is a shitty Christmas and I'm just going to be miserable, you know. I don't feel that way this year. I'm much more conscious after lots of meditation, lots of therapy, lots of good coaching, and working with my own coaching clients, coaching my clients in their situations, and journaling. All of the things that I do in Make Magic with Mojo, where I teach people how to manifest, I feel like I've come a long way. And so I want you to know it's possible, and just start thinking about that. Like, just start thinking about, what if I didn't feel so much pressure? What if I didn't expect or hope to be just, sitting on top of the world for the holidays or anytime? What if I didn't, expect my relationships with some of my relatives to be perfect? What if I accepted them as they are, and just let them be them, and let them be their screwed up selves, and I'll be my screwed up self. What's really funny is, years ago there was I guess you'd call him a counselor, and he was especially big in Alcoholics Anonymous. His name was John Bradshaw. He was the one who talked about your inner child. And so you can look up John Bradshaw if you want to. He passed away a year or two ago. Anyway, he was friends with my dad. My dad tends to know a lot of famous people for some reason. His best friend is on TV. It has his own show. So anyway, he said, "Hey, Samantha, how are you?" And so Bradshaw used to say that 97% of all families are dysfunctional in some way. And my dad would tell him, "I don't think that's true, because if 3% of families were functional, I'd have run into one of them by now, and I haven't." And so as we're, as we're dealing with this ill family member and the issues around it, and, without getting into a lot of detail, just it's wills and estates and stuff like that. And we look at some of the people that we are related to, but not in such a way that we're part of the same wills and estates, but we know them. And we go, wow, they're a lot more screwed up than we are. And so I told my dad, I said, maybe Bradshaw was right, and we're just among the 3%. Maybe we really are pretty functional. Maybe not all of us. Anyway, no, don't let me kid you. I am just as screwed up as the next person, believe me. And we all are. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's okay to be screwed up. We can't help it. All we can do is work on it. Know better so you do better, that kind of thing. So anyway, I challenge you this holiday season to see if you can get through it better than usual. Either, being happy with what is, or working on letting yourself off the hook. Maybe less frenzy, less hurrying, and narrow it down to what really is important to you and to your family, and go with that. And if you don't have a place to go, or you don't want to celebrate, then don't celebrate. You don't have to do it in a defiant way. Just don't do it. Just take it easy. Let yourself off the hook. And if you really would like to be with someone during the holidays, and you don't have a family, or you don't have anyone to be with, then reach out and offer to help someone else. Adopt a family. Go to the soup kitchen, the old standby of going to the soup kitchen. Do something for someone else. And that's generally what we find makes us feel better. One time somebody told me, and I was resentful of this because at the time I was depressed. So aside from clinical depression, if you find that you're feeling sorry for yourself, it's hard to feel sorry for yourself when you're helping someone else who needs your help. So volunteer at your church. See what you can do with your gifts. If you can sing, go caroling. If you can sing, volunteer to sing at your church. If you can cook, help with a bake sale at a local school. You don't even have to have kids in that school. There's a church right around the corner here in my neighborhood that has a school, and I could go over there and do things with them. So there are opportunities that will help you to get through the season if it's difficult for you. It all depends on your attitude. So anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that's helpful to you. And now I'm on to my next task. I've been like all chill and low key talking to you here, but I've got a gajillion things to do. So I'm on my way. I hope you are having a wonderful holiday season. And if you have some thoughts or ideas about, um, things that you want to do for the holidays for yourself, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me at mojomedium@gmail.com. And of course, find me online at mojomedium. Okay, I'll see you later. Have a happy holidays. Bye. Oh, where's that click button? Okay, bye.